Welcome back to my channel. So in this video I am going to tell about Oracle EBS environment, files and the variables. So there are some important files that we use in Oracle EBS and some important variables that we will be using or we normally use in our EBS environment. So what are these environment files? So whenever we work on an Oracle EBS environment, we have to use certain environment files. We have environment files which are used to source the environment specific variables. Okay, so these environment files are created or maintained by during your rapid install. These gets created, or if you are running autoconfig, they might be getting recreated based on this any changes. So the files should be recreated. So that's why whenever you are doing any autoconfig or any changes, you may need to make sure that the environment variables are newly sourced from the environment files. So the first important part of this is that you have to go ahead and simply know where is your base location. Okay, so where is my base location? That is very important to find that where is my base location for the installation. So where did you install your Oracle EBS? So we are talking about R12.2. So in the base location, what you will get? You will get a file called as EBS apps.env. So this is the file that is there in your base location. So this base location has the variable name as s_base, which you can find in context file. Now this file is available in R12.2, but it will be available and it can be used to source both your run file system and patch file system. So what is a run file system? What is a patch file system? We will be discussing in another video when I will be explaining the file system. So this is one of the important files. So if I see, let's say if I go ahead and see it in my system. Okay, so if you see on the screen, if we go ahead to my system, so I have few different mounts. So let's say I will go ahead and see what are the different mounts that I am using. So I have this file system where my EBS R12.2 is installed. So I will go to that location, okay, and go to your apps, okay, and FUAT. Okay, so this is your base location. So the location where we are currently, the Oracle apps 122 FUAT will be your base location where you will get your EBS apps env file. This is the file which we are seeing. Other file system FS1, FS2, FSNE will also be here, but the EBS apps.env file will also be present in this particular location. So this is a important file when we are talking about your EBS environment. So this file is used for sourcing of your run file system or your patch file system. Okay, so how to source using this file? Simply what you have to do, you have to either give it as a command line options as run or patch, or just call this file and it will prompt you to give either run or patch. Okay, so how it will be, let's see. So if I have to source this file, what I will do, I will simply go ahead and click dot ebsapps.env. So the environment or the operating system that I am using it here is your Linux 7, Oracle Enterprise Linux 7 to be more precise, and this environment I have to source using dot and the environment file name. As soon as I hit like this, it will show me that currently the run file system is this, patch file system will be set as this, and the non-edition file system will be this. The database name, the host, SID, everything will be shown it here. And if I simply want to source run or patch, I have to click R for run and P for patch. So as soon as I set R, it will shows me the run file system. Now whatever actions I will be performing on the run file system. Okay. So this file you will be seeing on your application layer. Okay, this will be in apps layer. Okay. There is another layer, your DB layer. So there is again one important file in DB layer, that is for sourcing your database environment. In EBS you will get a environment file in EBS directly, so which you can directly use. So that environment file will be where? At your DB Oracle home, the database Oracle home. So in this location, if you go ahead and see, you will find an environment file. So most of the standards you will see the environment file will be ending with something as .env. So which is important. So that environment file will be named something like, normally many people will call it as context name. So the Oracle standard is also the same, the context name .env. Now what is this context name? So context name is a variable that is built or that is derived from your value, or the value will be derived as SID. What is your database SID underscore host name? So that will become your context name. So SID may be in our video, the one that I showed you, FUAT, and the host name would be your fun EBS 122. So the environment file name will come as FUAT underscore fun EBS 122.env. So this will be your database environment file, which will be used for setting up your database related variables. So now let's see how it will look on the system as well. Now if I go back and connect to my database server here, so what I will do, I will connect to the database. So my database is running from Oracle user, I will connect it. Okay. Now again my database is installed in this, so I will go it here. So don't get confused by what are the files I have placed it home directory. These are just a soft link that I have created so that I don't have to go to this location again and again. Okay, so FUAT. Okay, and if you go to the Oracle home here, you will see this file. So this is your database environment or environment file, which is located in your database Oracle home, where my database related binaries are installed. So see, the name is your SID underscore hostname.env. So this is the main environment file which you can see. Now if you simply go ahead and source it, so you have to source it same way, dot space and the environment file name and enter. So that will be sourced automatically. Okay, so that will get sourced automatically when you are sourcing it. Okay, so that is easy to simply do. Now apart from these, when you are working, what you will see some other files as well on EBS level. See, there are many files, but the important ones I am covering in this video. So let's clear this out. So again I will clear this DB part. So again, coming to the application layer, you will still see some more files. Some more files should be there in the application layer, which is some files located it in your 10.1.2 home. Okay, that will be in 10.1.2 home on the EBS. So again that file would be called as same thing, dollar context name .env. Okay, again you will have a file. Even if you go to Appletop, okay, if you go to Appletop, you will see file as context name .env and one more apps dollar context name .env. So you will see multiple files, like this file is here also in Appletop, this is at 10.1.2 home, both are different files. Okay, but these both files will be called inside this wrapper. Okay, so this file and this file both will be present in this wrapper file. So apps dollar context name.env. So the context name.env is the same thing just now what I told, that is the same thing that we are discussing. So that will be your context name.env, that is comprised of your SID underscore host name. So this file is the wrapper file which will be calling both the files internally. Okay, now what we can simply do it here, we can go ahead and see how these will be called in the file. So if I go back to my application layer, okay, so as I told, this is my wrapper. So what I will do, cd dollar appl top. Okay, and here if you see, you will get two files, apps context name.env and context name.env. Now if I simply go ahead and do it, apps context name.env. Okay, so what you can see, you can simply go ahead and see this is your apps context name.env. Okay, so now it will be sourcing the file based on that. See, it is sourcing a file from your 10.1.2 home and it is sourcing a file from your Appletop as well. So both the files are sourced here. So you don't need to source them individually. So no file you have to source it individually. This is sourcing it. Now because we are talking about R12.2, so this EBS apps will automatically call this apps.env file. So you don't need to worry about manually calling it. But R12.2, this is not available. This file is not available on your fresh install of 12.2.0. Okay, when you are applying the AD&T XK patches, Delta patches that are higher to the version 6, then only you will get this file. From 6, so higher than 6, you will get this file in your EBS R12.2. Before that, you have to manually source it from this file. So if you are in a lower version like R12.1 12.3 or 12.0, we still use this file. So this file is still used in those environments. Now the same thing, so these environment variables, so if you open any of these environment variables, if we see on the screen, it always says don't make any changes manually to this file, because they gets overwritten whenever you run autoconfig. Okay, whenever we run autoconfig, these will be overwritten. So what happens, there might be chances that you want to set custom environment variables that you want to set. So where should you set it? Okay, so the important variables that you want to set and don't want to get overwritten, so if you write it in any of these files, they will get overwritten, which is not very advisable. That okay, if that is getting overwritten, then it is not of much use. So what should you do? You should be simply using a file called as custom environment file. Okay, so what I will do, I will write it here only. In this file, if you open this file, okay, I will just now show you, there is a name called as custom. Okay, there is a custom context name.env, context name.env. So what will happen, this is a file which you can create and set your custom variables. Custom variables, okay, so these variables can be called whenever needed, but they will not get overwritten. So where do we create it? So you have to manually, you can manually create it. So if you see right now on the screen, we have this particular custom environment file that you can see. So this custom environment file, what it will do, you can simply create it, this environment file, at the location, whichever location you want. So by default, this is the location that is your in FS1 instance of APPL admin, where you can create a custom environment file. Once you create it, so automatically it will source it. So see, in this wrapper, the main wrapper apps context name.env, what you are doing, it is checking whether this file exists or not. If it is exists, then only it will source. If it is not, it will not source. So right now in my environment, no custom file is there, I believe. Okay, maybe I have created it. So this is the custom environment file that I have created. So see, some custom variable I have set. So a trainee name is Rajesh. So echo dollar, if I see that variable, it will source me because that was sourced automatically. Okay, so you can create it directly. So you don't need to worry about path where it is getting created or where it should be created. You can simply go ahead and use the particular file, wrapper file, and see where path, which path it should be created, so that you are not worried where it should be created. Okay, also this custom, where you can see, you some can simply go ahead to custom file. Okay, so you can go ahead and see a variable in your context file s_custom file. It will also tell you the path and settings. So if you want to make changes to this, you can make changes to this variable as well. If you want to customize it to some common location, you can go ahead and make those changes. Okay, so this is your custom environment file. So now if we come back to my base location of EBS, so you will see this file. So I will view this file. Okay, so again this file will be used for both. So see what it is doing, it is setting certain informations, and then based on that, what it will do, it will source your environment variables. Okay, it will go ahead and source the environment variables based on the inputs that you have given. Okay, So you can see these are being sourced it here. This all the details you can read. So everything is based on shell, so you can easily identify. So see, whenever it will read the environment file name, it will be apps context name dot env as the context file name here, which it would be reading. So this is the file which it would be reading. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Now when you are sourcing these environments files, so there are certain key environment variables that you should be aware. So whenever you are working on EBS environment or EBS instances, okay, so you should be aware about the key parameters. What are the key parameters that we should be using? Okay, so I will show it. So let's say I want to use the, what are the key variables that are being used that will be useful for your day-to-day working as well. Okay, so in R12.2 few new variables that are there. So what are those? The variable name is run underscore base. Then you have patch underscore base. Then you have file addition. Then you have any underscore base. Okay, so these are some 4 new important parameters that you will see. So run base is the location or the base location where your run file system is there. So this is your run base. So let's say in our case, let's say it was Aura apps, let's say 122, I think apps FUAT and FS1 if it is my run base. Same way patch base is the base location of the other file system other than your FS1, so that would be your FS2. So this will remain same, only thing here would be FS2 if my FS2 is my run file system. These values will be same, the path, because this is my base location where EBS installation was done, and then you have the file system FS1, FS2. Then file addition, because these two will only tell which is your file system 1 and file system 2 based on which is set, run or base, but which one I actually set. So how to identify that? So you can use a variable file addition, so which will tell you what type of environment you have sourced, run or patch. Like if I have sourced it run or patch, it will display via this variable. And any equal to base, that is the base location of a non-adjacent file system. Again, that will be the same value. Let's say Aura apps 122. Then you have apps FUAT and your FS underscore any. Okay. Now let's see how we will look on the system. So if I go ahead, again these are related to your application, so I will connect to my application layer, and simple, the first thing, I have already sourced my EBS apps. So let's see echo dollar run underscore base. So see what it will show me. It will show me the base location, then the FS1 file system, because this is my run file system right now. Same way, if I want to find the patch base, so this will show me the patch location. Then which environment I actually set using the EBS apps.env. So I will do echo dollar file underscore addition. Okay, so I have set my run file system, so it will show me run. Then echo dollar any underscore base. So what it will show? it will show me the non-adjacent file system location. So see this, if you go to the base location where the installation is there, so 3 of the locations we are pointing to these locations only. Okay, so you can use these variables easy to navigate to that particular locations. Or if you are doing some type of automation, if you are doing any type of automation, then also these variables might be useful to easily run and call certain scripts that are available. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, now some other key important variables that we should be knowing. So these are mostly these 4 you will see in your normal EBS R12.2. okay, these will be seen in R12.2 only. Now next, if I show, so for the next, like some important variable is APPL DCP. okay, so this variable will tell you whether your PCP, parallel concurrent processing, is enabled or not. Are you using parallel concurrent processing or not? So what is parallel concurrent processing? I will cover in some other video, but this parameter will help you, where you can actually divide your concurrent processing across multiple nodes, okay, where the load can be distributed using PCP. So this parameter can be checked to validate whether PCP is enabled or not. And then you have AppleTop. Now what is this? This is the top level directory. Top level directory where what we are doing, all the products are installed, all the product related folders and files and everything you can see in the AppleTop only. Okay, for as a DB also you will be using a lot many times, but AppleTop is very important variable that you should be aware of. Then you have in R12.2, because we are in R12.2, so AppleTop underscore any. Okay, so that is a AppleTop location, top level directory, where the non-adjacent level codes are installed, non-adjacent level codes are available. So this will point to a non-adjacent file system. Then you have again very important variable admin underscore scripts underscore home. So what is this location? This is the top level location in the instance top. So it would be in your instance top where your all the control scripts, pre-clone scripts, auto config scripts, all those scripts will be available. So this is again very important for a DBA. So you will be using a lot these specific locations as well. Now let's see how these will be displayed on the system. So echo $appl CDP, the first one that we use for concurrent processing, right? So what we will do there, we can simply go ahead sorry, you can simply go ahead and see it. So see, no value, so that means the concurrent processing is not, parallel concurrent processing is not being used. Okay, now next, sorry, I have showed you, I have a typo here. Okay, so see, this is off, so parallel concurrent processing is not being used. Next you have something as AppleTop, so $appl underscore top, so you will see the top level location. So this will display based on your run file system, whatever file system you have sourced. Okay, we have two file systems, FS1, FS2. I will discuss it later, but this is your AppleTop location currently. Then the other one, echo $appl underscore top, underscore any. So this will go to your non-addition file system. Okay, now what sits here, you can see. Okay, so AD related, like your Adobe utility. If you see it here, you have bin location where your Adobe utility and other things are there. So that location is called your Appletop underscore any variable. Then, as we have already seen in one of my previous video, admin scripts home, which will refer to your all the scripts, pre-clone scripts, auto config scripts that will be available in your admin scripts home location. Okay. Now let's cover some more important ones. So there is a variable called as, which you might have, GWY, okay, UID. Okay, what is this? So whenever you first time initial sign on to your EBS login page, right? So there is an authentication being done. Okay, so this is a public username and password that is used to access that login page. So first time the authentication will done with your guest user ID and password. This only uses for authenticating any user. So by default value will always be your the one that you call as appl syspub and the password pub. Okay, so normally you shouldn't be changing this value. So this is anyways publicly available, so there is not much security concern around this, so you can keep it as it is. Okay, then you have something called other tops, FND top, okay, AU top. So these are the specific, or any product, let's say AP product underscore top. Okay, so you will have any product, whichever product name you take, and that followed by underscore top, that will be a location of that particular product. So that product location, what it will do, that will take you to the path where your application object library specific codes and modules are there. Then AU top, all the application related utilities. What are the application related utilities? Directory is there, so it will take to that directory, AUL directory. This will take to your application utilities directory. Okay, same way this will take to the accounts payable directory, the AP directory. So everything, all these tops, they all will come under your APPL top. They will be under your APPL top. Okay, so now let's see again these things what we have discussed. Now let's say if I go ahead and do echo $GWY UID. So this is APPL syspub and the password of it. Same way if I do echo $FND top, see it will go to till Appletop, and then inside it there is an FND module, that is the application object library and the folder. So this is the top level directory. Inside it you will have forms, report, binaries, files, other files. Same way you can do echo $AU top or any module, echo let's say inventory module $INV top. So I'm just displaying, so I'm using the echo. If you want to navigate, you can use CD and everything to go to that particular location. Let's say CD inventory top, so it will go to that particular location and you can see what are the specific file, forms and other specific entities related to that particular module. You will be finding it there. Okay, then you will have certain important parameters again. So I'm trying to cover the important ones. There are many. Okay, so it's not possible to cover all of them. Then you might have came across APPL, CSF, APPL. So every variable that we are discussing, that has to be in uppercase letter. APPL, out. Okay, so these are some important variables. So what is this? APPL, CSF, log and output. Okay, so this APPL, CSF, this is a top level directory. Again, top level directory where all your manager log output files, manager logs output files, okay, so they all will be placed under this top level directory. Okay, this will be the top level directory, and then these two are individual directories. So this value will refer to a variable as log, this value will be referring to a value as out. So what will happen in this top level directory, there would be a log directory which will keep all the logs, whereas in out directory all the output files would be there. Okay, so when we say, okay, I want to see the concurrent request log file, where it should be, so what we normally do, cd dollar appl csf slash dollar appl log. So what it will take me, it will take me to this top level directory and then the log directory inside it, where I can find all my log specific file, manager logs, concurrent request logs, all those will be find it here. Same way you have output file which will be pointing to your output location. Now let's see on the system again how this will be. So if you do echo dollar appl csf, so this is my top level directory where all my concurrent requests related to managers and everything will be placed, but here you have multiple directories. So now if I go to echo dollar appl log, it will point me to a log location. So when I do appl csf and appl log, it will take me inside this directory automatically. Same way echo dollar appl out, so it will show me the out directory. Okay, also there is an important variable as we are discussing, so I will tell you, cp name. Okay, so what would be your concurrent manager logs and output files name will be. So if this variable is there, right, that means this is pointing that it will be in the name of your request id. So the variable, very important variable here, if you are not aware or not heard of app cp nam concurrent process name, so it would be normally request id. So that means the log and everything that will be generating, let's say if my request id is 1234 dot log or 12344 dot out. Okay, so it will be based on your request id. I hope that is clear. Okay, now next few more important variables are your, I will also write in capital, app ltmp and appl ptmp. Okay, this is, and then these are two important variables again. Now what are these? So appl tmp is a directory in Oracle EBS. What it is used for? This is used for your temporary files. Temporary files. Okay, Okay, so this is used for your temporary files, and the default location would mostly be your instance top appl tmp. Okay, so whatever temporary files are used by eBusiness Suite, that will be kept under this appl tmp path, whatever you have set it. But again, there is one more, don't get confused, it is appl ptmp. P is the important here. So why it is P? So P means it will be used for keeping the temporary output files related to your PL SQLs. Okay, any PL SQL executions that are being done in EBS level, that would be set in appl ptmp. So whenever we compare, right, many times we might need to compare. So the value of appl ptmp should be in the utl underscore file underscore dir location. The db level parameter set that we set for util file dir, this path should be there in this util file dir as well. Okay, so this is your some important appl tmp and ptmp. Then one more I will cover here only, instance top. Okay, so this is a top level directory for the configuration files and specific setup in a single location. Okay, so top level directory, again this is top level directory for all the configuration files, log files. So it was quite a lot used in previous versions, but in R12.2 lot of things have moved out of instance top to the Fusion middleware home, but still instance top is used for doing all those activities. So if you see the admin scripts home that we earlier talked, it is actually under your instance top only. Okay, so that will come under instance top directory. So log, configurations, everything would come under your instance top. These are all your important variables that I have tried to cover. I hope you like this video. So I will be posting more videos that will help you to clear out your concept. So these are the very important variables that you should be aware when working on an EBS environment. If you did like this video, please share and subscribe to my channel. See you in next video. Thank you.